He was one of the richest men in Lagos. A billionaire with power and money that many could only dream of. But one day, he gave away his own daughter. No one knew why. No one understood. What happened to the little girl after that? What did she do next? Sit back and find out as we tell this powerful story. In the heart of Lagos, there was a big, beautiful mansion. It had tall gates and shiny cars parked outside. The man who lived there was Chief Emeka. People called him the Lion of Lagos. He wore clean suits and polished shoes. Every morning, the servants greeted him, "Good morning, sir." He smiled and nodded but didn't say much. He liked to watch quietly. Chief Emeka's daughter, Ada, was 14 years old. She lived in that mansion but didn't feel her father's love. When Ada's mother died, everything changed. Chief Emeka made a choice no one expected. He gave Ada away. But where did she go? No one knew. Ada was scared but brave. She didn't understand why she was sent away. And what happened after that would shock everyone, even the man who gave her away. Ada woke up one morning, but she was not in her big, cold mansion. She was somewhere else, a small house with cracked walls and a dusty floor. The air smelled different, like fresh earth and wood smoke. She looked around, confused and scared. Who were these people? Why was she here? A woman came into the room. She wore a faded dress and had kind eyes. "You are safe now, Ada," she said softly. "We will take care of you." Ada didn't say a word. She only nodded. She missed her mother. She missed the city. But she knew she had to be brave. The woman's name was Nkechi. She lived in a small village far from the city noise. Life here was simple. People woke up with the sun, worked hard in the fields, and shared what little they had. Ada learned quickly that this village was nothing like Lagos. There were no tall buildings or fancy cars. There were just people, smiling, struggling, and living. Ada felt alone but also strangely free. She could run outside, feel the warm sun on her face, and hear birds sing. But the question that stayed in her heart was, why did her father send her away? Did he not love her? Was she a mistake? At night, she would stare at the stars and pray. She wished she could see her father again. But deep inside, Ada knew one thing: this was just the beginning of her story. And what she was about to do next would change everything. Days turned into weeks, and Ada slowly began to adjust to her new life in the village. Nkechi and her family treated her like one of their own. They shared their food, their stories, and their warmth. Ada helped with the chores, fetching water from the well, sweeping the dirt floor, and cooking simple meals over the fire. It was hard work, but it gave her a new sense of purpose. At first, Ada felt out of place. The other children in the village stared at her strange clothes and her quiet ways. But she didn't mind. She kept her head down and worked hard. She wanted to make Nkechi proud. More than anything, she wanted to prove that she was strong. One afternoon, while helping in the fields, Ada met a boy named Chike. He was around her age and had a bright smile. "You're new here, aren't you?" he asked. Ada nodded shyly. "Don't worry," Chike said. "I'll show you around." For the first time since she arrived, Ada felt a spark of happiness. Chike took her to the river, where children played and laughed. Ada dipped her feet in the cool water and smiled. She realized that even though her life had changed, there was still joy to be found. And maybe, just maybe, this place could become home. But far away, in the city, Chief Emeka was restless. He could not forget the daughter he had given away. Something inside him was stirring, a feeling he had not felt in years. What would happen when their paths crossed again? Only time would tell. Ada was not like other children. There was something special about her, though she did not understand it yet. One evening, as the village lay quiet under a blanket of stars, Ada sat outside Nkechi's small hut. She looked up at the moon and whispered, "Please, help me find my way." Suddenly, A warm light seemed to glow around her hands. Ada gasped. The fireflies nearby flickered in time with the soft glow. It was as if something inside her had awakened. Mama Nkechi saw the light too and smiled quietly. She took Ada's hand and said, "You have a gift, child. A gift that will change your life." Ada didn't know what to think. She had always felt different, but this was new. Over the next days, Mama Nkechi taught her how to control the light, to use it to help the village. When crops struggled to grow, Ada's touch made the plants stronger. When the river dried up, she found water hidden beneath the earth. Slowly, people began to notice. Word spread that Ada was special. Some whispered she was blessed by the spirits. Others said she was a miracle. Ada felt proud but also afraid. What if her father never knew about this gift? What if he had given her away because he feared her? Meanwhile, Chief Emeka sat alone in his grand office. He looked at old pictures of Ada. A knot tightened in his chest. He had made a terrible mistake, but it was not too late. He promised himself he would find her and make things right. Chief Emeka sat in his large, silent office. The city lights glittered through the tall windows, but his heart was heavy. He held a small photograph of Ada, the daughter he had given away. Her bright eyes stared back at him, innocent and full of hope. For years, he had pushed the memory away, telling himself it was for the best. But tonight was different. A deep sadness settled over him. He thought about the day he made the decision, cold, distant, and filled with fear. He had believed Ada was a reminder of pain and loss. A secret he wanted to hide from the world. But now, he realized what he had truly lost. Chief Emeka whispered to himself, "What have I done?" Tears welled up in his eyes. The love he had buried inside began to surface. He remembered Ada's laughter, her small hands reaching for his. He wanted to undo the past, but he didn't know how. Meanwhile, miles away in the village, Ada was learning to control her gift better. She helped the people, bringing life and hope to those around her. Yet, a small part of her longed for answers. Who was her father? Why had he sent her away? One evening, Ada looked at the stars and said softly, "I will find him someday." And somewhere in Lagos, Chief Emeka looked at the same stars and made the same silent promise. Word of Ada's gift spread quickly through the village. The people were amazed at how the once barren fields began to bloom and how the river never ran dry. They saw Ada as a blessing sent from above. One evening, the villagers gathered around a large fire to celebrate. Mama Nkechi stood proudly beside Ada. "You have brought hope back to our home," she said softly. The children laughed and danced, their faces glowing in the firelight. For the first time in a long while, the village felt alive. Ada smiled, but her thoughts drifted to her father. She wondered if he ever thought about her. Did he know what she could do? Did he regret sending her away? That night, Ada made a decision. She would leave the village to find Chief Emeka. She wanted answers, and maybe, just maybe, a chance to be reunited with the father she barely knew. The villagers were sad to see her go, but they understood. "Go with our blessings," Mama Nkechi said. "Remember, your gift will always guide you." Ada packed her small bag and hugged everyone tightly. With hope in her heart and the village's prayers behind her, she stepped onto the dusty road leading back to Lagos. Her journey was only beginning. Ada's feet touched the dusty road leading out of the village, each step heavy with hope and fear. She carried only a small bag with a few belongings and the memories of the place that had become her home. The sun was rising, casting golden light over the field she had helped bloom. She looked back once, then turned forward. The road was long and rough. Ada traveled on foot, through dusty paths and crowded towns. People stared at the young girl walking alone, but she didn't mind. She had a mission, a purpose that pushed her forward. She needed to find Chief Emeka, the father who had given her away. Along the way, Ada met many strangers, some kind, some cold. One old man gave her water and whispered, "Be strong, child. Your journey is not easy, but your heart is pure." Ada smiled and thanked him. She kept walking, feeling the weight of her gift and the hope that it might change her fate. Meanwhile, in Lagos, Chief Emeka sat in his mansion, restless. News had reached him about a girl with a special gift helping a village. Something about the story felt familiar. His heart raced. Could it be Ada? The daughter he had lost. Ada's journey was just beginning, but fate was already pulling their lives closer. Ada was tired and hungry as she reached the edge of a busy town. The noise of cars and people filled the air, a world so different from her quiet village. She looked around, unsure where to go next. Just then, a man approached her. He wore a simple shirt but carried himself with confidence. "Where are you headed, young lady?" he asked kindly. Ada hesitated but replied, "I'm looking for my father, Chief Emeka." The man's eyes widened. "That's a powerful name. What brings you here?" Ada looked down, then whispered, "He gave me away. I want to find him and understand why." The man smiled gently. "I'm Chinedu, a friend of Chief Emeka. Let me help you." For the first time on her journey, Ada felt hope. Chinedu guided her through the crowded streets, sharing stories about Chief Emeka and the city she barely knew. Ada listened carefully, feeling closer to the father she had never truly met. But danger was not far behind. Not everyone wanted Ada to reunite with Chief Emeka. Shadows moved in the background, watching her every step. As Ada and Chinedu moved deeper into Lagos, the city's bright lights and busy streets hid more than just people, they hid secrets. Ada felt eyes watching her, and strange whispers followed their every step. Who were these shadows? And why did they want to stop her? Chinedu noticed her unease. "You must be careful here," he warned softly. "Not everyone wants you to find Chief Emeka. Some fear what your return might mean." Ada's heart pounded. She didn't understand, but she trusted Chinedu. Together, they moved quickly through narrow alleys and crowded markets, always alert. Meanwhile, in his mansion, Chief Emeka received mysterious messages warning him of Ada's arrival. Fear and guilt battled inside him. Was he ready to face the past he had tried to forget? Ada's journey was becoming more dangerous, but she was determined. No matter the cost, she would find her father and uncover the truth. Ada and Chinedu finally arrived at the grand gates of Chief Emeka's mansion. The walls were tall, the guards serious and watchful. Ada's heart pounded as she stepped inside the vast home, so different from the village, so full of secrets. Chinedu led her to a quiet room where Chief Emeka waited. The man who once sent her away now looked older, tired, and full of regret. His eyes softened as he saw Ada standing before him. "Why did you leave me?" Ada's voice shook with pain and hope. Chief Emeka swallowed hard. "I was scared," he confessed. "I thought I was protecting you from the pain I felt. But I was wrong." Tears filled Ada's eyes, but so did forgiveness. "I am here now," she said. "Let's heal together." Their reunion was just the beginning. Together, they would face the shadows, the past, and build a new future. Chief Emeka and Ada sat together, their eyes heavy with memories and regrets. The grand mansion around them felt cold, a place full of silence and unspoken pain. Ada asked quietly, "Why did you really send me away?" Chief Emeka looked down, voice soft but steady. "After your mother died, I was lost. I couldn't handle the grief. I thought I was protecting you from my pain, but I only hurt you. I made a terrible mistake." Ada nodded slowly, understanding more than she expected. "I was scared, but I learned to be strong. I found love and hope in the village. But I needed to know the truth. The past was hard to face, but it was the only way to heal." Chief Emeka promised Ada he would never leave her again. Together, they began to rebuild the trust that had been broken. Outside, the city buzzed unaware, but inside, a new story was beginning, one of forgiveness, courage, and family. Ada and Chief Emeka started spending more time together. Each day, they shared stories. Ada told of the village, the people who loved her, and the gift she had. Chief Emeka spoke of his regrets and hopes for the future. Slowly, the walls between them began to crumble. Ada felt something she had never known before, a father's love. And Chief Emeka found joy in watching his daughter grow strong and wise. But the city was not ready to forget so easily. Some powerful people feared Ada's return. They whispered behind closed doors, worried she would change everything. Ada knew her journey was far from over. But with her father by her side, she was ready to face whatever came next. Together, they would build a future full of hope, healing, and new dreams. Just as Ada and Chief Emeka began to rebuild their bond, dark clouds gathered around them. One morning, Chief Emeka received a sealed letter, a warning. The message was clear: stop helping Ada, or face the consequences. Ada felt the tension growing. Who could want to hurt us? She asked. Chief Emeka sighed deeply. Some people in my world don't want change. They fear your power and what you represent. Despite the threats, Ada's resolve only grew stronger. She knew that to heal the past and protect the future, she had to stand tall, no matter the danger. Together, father and daughter prepared to face the shadows threatening to pull them apart once more. Ada and Chief Emeka knew they couldn't face the danger alone. They reached out to old friends, trusted allies, and even some new faces from the village who believed in Ada's gift. Together, they formed a circle of strength and protection. The village people sent messages of support, reminding Ada she was never alone. With each new ally, their courage grew. One evening, as the sun set over Lagos, Ada stood beside her father on the balcony of the mansion. The city lights twinkled below, but her eyes were fixed on the horizon. "We will overcome this," Ada said quietly. Chief Emeka nodded. "Together, nothing can break us." Their unity was the first step toward a future filled with hope, a future they would build hand in hand. Ada felt a new strength growing inside her. Her gift was more than just a light or healing power, it was a symbol of hope for those who had lost their way. With each passing day, she learned to control it better, using it not just to help the village, but to inspire change in the city. She began visiting local schools and community centers, sharing her story. People listened. They saw a young girl who had faced pain but chose love instead of hate. Her courage sparked something powerful in their hearts. Chief Emeka watched with pride. The daughter he once gave away was now a leader, strong, wise, and fearless. Together, they knew they could transform not only their family but the entire community. The road ahead was long, but Ada was ready. Her gift was not just for her, it was for everyone who needed hope. After months in Lagos, Ada felt a pull deep in her heart, a longing for the village that had shaped her. She asked Chief Emeka if they could visit. He agreed, knowing how important it was for her to reconnect with where she came from. When they arrived, the villagers greeted them with open arms and joyous smiles. Ada's gift had changed their lives, but more than that, her return brought hope and pride. Chief Emeka saw a side of Ada he had never known, strong yet gentle, humble yet fearless. The village was not just a place on a map, it was her home, her roots. That visit sealed their bond even further. Together, they promised to build bridges between two worlds, the bustling city and the peaceful village. During their time in the village, Chief Emeka stood before the gathered community and made a vow. "I was wrong to send Ada away," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "From this day forward, I promise to support her and this village." The crowd cheered, tears in many eyes. Ada felt her father's love grow stronger with every word. She knew forgiveness was not easy, but this promise was a start. Chief Emeka also pledged to bring resources to the village, schools, clean water, and medical care. His power and wealth would no longer divide them but unite them. Together, father and daughter began turning pain into purpose, changing not only their lives but the lives of many. Just as hope blossomed, new challenges arrived. Not everyone welcomed Chief Emeka's promises. Some city officials saw the changes as a threat to their power and wealth. They worked quietly to block resources from reaching the village. Ada felt the weight of these obstacles. She wanted to help everyone, but the road was harder than she imagined. Frustration crept in, but her spirit stayed strong. Chief Emeka reminded her, change is never easy. But together, we can break through the walls they build. Ada nodded, ready to fight for the future she believed in, not just for herself, but for all who needed a better life. Ada and Chief Emeka refused to be stopped. They organized meetings, reached out to community leaders, and rallied the villagers to stand strong. Slowly, their efforts began to bear fruit. A group of young volunteers from the city joined the cause, bringing energy and new ideas. Together, they repaired schools, built wells, and created programs to help children learn. Word spread beyond Lagos, and more people started supporting Ada's vision. What once seemed impossible now felt within reach. Chief Emeka watched his daughter with pride. She had turned pain into power, and together they were changing the world, one step at a time. The day finally came when the village was no longer forgotten. Schools were full of children eager to learn. Clean water flowed freely, and health clinics opened their doors. Ada's gift had brought life, but it was her courage and love that built a new future. Chief Emeka stood beside his daughter, proud and humbled. He had learned that true wealth was not in gold or power, but in family, forgiveness, and hope. Ada smiled, knowing her journey was far from over, but she was ready. Together, they had rewritten their story, a story of pain transformed into purpose, of a father's love rediscovered, and of a girl who changed her world. And this is just the beginning. Thank you for following Ada's journey. What did you learn from our story? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful stories coming soon.